What's good, everybody? I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully, I had a great trading week. So it's been a long time. I've not done any trading videos. Well, last week's I've probably had wins. Yeah, as you guys know. So the first trade that I took last week, I think this was USD CAD shorts. I entered here. Yeah, put my stop loss above and hit take profit. This was my take profit for 1 to 3 history word. And the reason was quite simple. Basically, when you look at the technical part, you see that the momentum is decreasing. And at that same period, we were having we had bad FOMC, bad inflation data for the dollar, which meant that the Fed was a little less more hawkish. So that was bearish for the dollar. Canadian dollar, the oil price was so high. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna short Canadian USD CAD, took the shorts, hit my take profit and exited. So this trade I took it last week. The reason I took it, first of all, because of the conflict in the Middle East concerning Iran and the United States. We had less bombing. So that's great. Canadian inflation data came up lower. We had a lot of Canadian dollar related news that came up lower, which was bearish for the Canadian dollar. Although the oil prices are still high, but they did drop because we had no bombing of the Iranians of Iran. So that means that we had a little of a release in the tension. So oil prices did actually drop, which made Canadian dollar weaker. Dollar, I'm expecting more hawkishness by the Fed because we had really high oil prices, which were to increase the inflation. So the Fed was probably going to be hawkish. Next week, CHFJPY. On Thursday, I think we have Bank of Japan meeting. They will probably keep the hike still, but they will expect to rate the hikes in the future. That's pretty bullish for the Japanese yen. The Swiss franc, the SNB will probably not intervene. So CHFJ quite short entered. You can see that this was a nice level of area of interest with multiple rejection. So when price came down to the shorts, and yeah, we are still into the trade. So AUD CAD is a trade that I'm really interested in taking. If first of all the FOMC meeting comes up dovish, so we have more chances we have less chances of rate hikes in the future. That means that Kevin Wash comes up more dovish. I'll be looking for Australian dollar longs. Why? Because RBA is interested into keeping their rate still high. The Canadian dollar, like I said, we had a lot of Canadian dollar related news that came up lower, which was really bad for the economy, such as inflation and employment. So AUD CAD longs would be really interesting maybe on Thursday. Euro NZD, I want to take the short all the way up here, not this level, because this is my interest and this is the price that the level that the price actually respected. Why euro shorts? Okay, first of all, this euro central bank is hawkish, but the thing is, the economic data concerning the European Union does not follow. So in Europe, we have less inflation. Inflation is slowing down. Employment is easing. So yeah, I'll be looking for shorts. Euro, NZD. New Zealand dollar is not the best, but I'll be looking for it. GBP JPY. This is probably the second best setup that I have for this week. First of all, you can see that we are having rejection, obviously. The 4 hour, okay, we had this big bullish momentum, but you can see that price has been ranging since and then actually broke under. Inflation data in the United Kingdom is easing employment, bad employment as well. So GBP JPY will be interesting because we have Japanese yen, which is which is expected to come up higher because of the rate hikes that are coming in the future. And the last but not least, AUDUSD, I'm not even interested, only if the Fed comes out dovish. So that's it for the week. Hopefully, I have a great trading week, and I'm gonna go through it again. So these are the setups that I'm looking at: AUD CAD longs or GBGPY shorts. So I would not enter right here because this is not enough confirmation. I want the price to come up all the way up here. I usually enter on the higher time frame, such as the 2 hour time frame. So this is not enough of an entry. If I was to enter here, I've had to put my stop loss above, and this will be what 1.44, 1.4. risk reward. That's not interesting. So this is what I'm looking for right here. AUD CAD, probably a break all the way up here after the Fed dovish meeting. Okay, break all the way up here, a retest, and I'll take the out. That's it. Put my stop loss on there. Let me show you. Yeah, something like this. I'm not gonna be looking for a big score. Maybe a 2.45 something like this. This will be interesting. AUD I'm not interested. Only if we have a dovish Fed, and I don't think that's gonna happen. So this is not gonna be interesting. But if you have a dovish Fed, why not? Because RBA is hawkish. The Fed is expected to be a little bit more hawkish. If not the case, we might have a lot of dollar selling pressure. So yeah, hopefully I have a great trade week. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my socials, such as my Instagram, Telegram, or Twitter. Because right now I'm really active on my Twitter and my Telegram. Yeah, peace out.